Business on Television Nigerian. I am Chiwende Osisiago. Today we shall be discussing on maximizing employment opportunities in Nigerian public and private sector spaces. It is no doubt that the employment rate in our country today is yet to reach a satisfactory value due to the number of eligible Nigerians out there still seeking employment from the public and private sector, which has unarguably given rise to the topic of discuss maximizing employment opportunities in the Nigerian public and private sector spaces. In a bid to identify with this problem and possibly provide solutions, our guest is in the studio. But before we proceed, let's look at the business. The equities market opened the week on a positive note as gains in Dangote Flour Mills PLC and 70 other stocks pushed the market higher. Investors gained 19 billion naira as the market capitalization of equities increased from 13.465 trillion naira on Friday to 13.484 trillion naira on Monday. Analysts said the positive performance could be attributed to major price appreciation in large cap stocks such as MTN Nigerian Communications PLC, Dangote Flour Mills PLC, and Cement Company of Northern Nigerian PLC. The top traded stock by volume were MTN Nigerian 25.4 million units, Zenith Bank PLC 16.9 million units, and Access Bank PLC 15.9 million units, while MTN 3.2 billion naira, Dangote Cement PLC 346.5 million naira, and Guaranty Trust Bank PLC 333.6 million naira were the top traded stock by value. However, the oil and gas index depreciated by 0.20%, while the consumer goods index declined by 0.05% as a result of sell pressures in Dangote Sugar Refinery PLC. Following Dangote Flour Mills were four other major gainers, namely Cornerstone Insurance PLC, BOC Gases PLC, UACN Property Development Company PLC, and NCRN Nigerian PLC, which saw respective gains of 10%, 9.86%, 9.73%, and 9.43%. The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation said on Monday that it had become difficult to make investment decisions in oil and gas projects in Nigeria. The Group Managing Director of NNPC, Malia Kyari, said issues associated with fiscal regime would have to be addressed in order to accelerate investment across the value chain. Kyari spoke in Lagos at the Nigerian Annual International Conference and Exhibition of the Society of Petroleum Engineers with the theme Artificial Intelligence, Big Data and Mobile Technology, Changing the Future of the Energy Industry. He noted that the emergence of artificial intelligence had altered the dynamics of operations by providing quicker processes and interventions in the conduct of petroleum operations. According to Kara, the NNPC is driving the national aspiration to grow the national oil reserve to 40 billion barrels by 2025 and crude oil production to 3 million barrels per day. He added that the corporation needed more investment to revamp and expand domestic refineries to support the growth of the downstream sector and guarantee energy security for the nation. The Naira on Monday traded at 362 Naira 57 kobo to the dollar at the parallel market in Lagos, and the turnover at the window stood at $293.60 million. However, the currency was 359 Naira to dollar at the parallel market, while it was exchanged at 445 Naira and 397 Naira to the pound sterling and euro respectively. At the beginning of the trend window, the Naira closed at 359 Naira to the dollar, while it was 445 Naira and 397 Naira to the pound sterling and euro respectively. Meanwhile, the Naira held stable at the parallel market in Lagos due largely to the intervention of the CBN, and the turnover at the investors window at the end of July rose from $2.9 billion in June to $4.12 billion in July. And that's what you have for you today on TV and Business Updates. I am Chiwende Osisiago. Now we shall be looking at the graphical representations of business stories making headlines. Stay with us. stay with us, and in case you're just joining us, it's still TVN Business. Like I said earlier, we shall be discussing on maximizing employment opportunities in the Nigerian public and private sector spaces. I have in the studio with me today Madam Chika Ofo. She is the Chief Operating Officer, Vaccine Network for Disease Control. Welcome to TVN Business, man. It's good to have you on TVN Business.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Yes, sir. Okay, talking about the rate of unemployment in Nigeria, it's actually quite high, and it's actually pushing a lot of young people to do illegal things. So, what's your take on this?
Unemployment has always been there,
Okay.
but it's getting worse, and that's the truth.
Yeah.
I think the first thing that young people should do is that once you have finished school,
Yeah.
if you're in school or even if you're not in school, go and volunteer. Because volunteering helps to take your mind off things that will make you upset or make you do things
Yeah.
that you would regret. Then secondly, volunteering, sometimes you can be lucky as you are volunteering. You can become a permanent staff. Like in my organization, we have 22 staff, and right now we have 64 volunteers. My 22 staff, everybody came in through volunteerism. I don't just employ.
Okay.
You come in, you volunteer, I see your potential. Because sometimes people can't know your potential until they have worked with you. That's the truth. So I advise a lot of youth, once you start early from secondary school, start to volunteer for a cause that you like. For instance, if you like women empowerment or you like community development or something, look for organizations. They're all online. People are looking for people that volunteer with them for free. You'll be surprised that when they tell you volunteer for free most times, in the end it's not usually free. They might give you money for transport at the beginning. And while you are there, you'll be shocked. Something can just come up, you get a grant, and then you become a permanent staff. And people are wondering, I thought this person is supposed to be volunteering. How come the person is a permanent staff? My program manager, for instance, in my organization, my NGO, Yemi, she started as a volunteer. She volunteered for 3 months without a kobo.
Wow.
But while she was there, she was even the one that we wrote a grant together and then won. Of course, when we won, who will be the program manager? Yemi, of course. So my advice really is that try and volunteer. It takes your mind off, makes you less angry with the world, and then it shows you areas that you're not as disadvantaged as you think.
Okay.
When you go to the community level and people are really ill, you see somebody who is very sick and you're helping the person, you know that their own is only work, but at least you are healthy.
Yeah.
So my advice most times for a lot of youth is volunteer. It helps.
Okay, you're talking about volunteer.
Yeah.
Okay, if I want to go for the volunteer, are you going to pay or just for a long time, 3 months, 6 months? Because so many people are actually going to work because of the money they need to cater for themselves.
Okay, if you're volunteering in a place and you're volunteering in an organization and not paying you,
Yeah.
is it better for you to be at home not doing anything or to be in an office and you're learning and gaining? Because let me give you an example. You come to my NGO is the Vaccine Network for Disease Control, so we are into community development. We are into monitoring and evaluation, scorecard development, gender equality, that kind of thing. And then you work for me for 3 months. You have experience immediately. You're no longer a fresher, whether you like it or not. So when a job comes out, you cannot apply. And when they say experience, you will say monitoring and evaluation. You will say community development.
Okay, yeah.
So that helps you. So what do you want to be doing with your time? You're at home, you're not doing anything. Would you rather stay at home? Instead of you to volunteer and gain experience. And the many times you'd say they don't want to employ me because I do not have experience. Yes, volunteering is an opportunity for you to have experience.
Okay, how can the youth optimize employment opportunities in the absence of white collar jobs?
There's so many things to do.
Yeah.
I heard that in NYC now they teach you how to do bead making and different kinds of things, sewing, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Learn something. Central Bank is giving loans, they're giving different kinds of things.
Yeah.
Organizations are giving this kind of thing. Go online. Instead of using your social media to Snapchat and all these things, take 10 minutes, 15 minutes to Google, find out who is providing what. You'll be surprised what you will find. The internet is a very big, wide place with a lot of beautiful things inside. But you have to search a little. Search a little, you will find.
Okay.
Go to Central Bank. They're giving loans. Ask people. Be interested. That's the thing. Be interested. And guess what? Be persistent.
Yeah.
If you know that you want to farm, if you like it, there's nothing wrong with it. If you know that you want to sew, there's nothing wrong with it. Look, the lesson that my children go to, there's a lesson in Atotako. Learn artists. The woman started, she's a pharmacist, and she started doing lesson for people. Today, she has more than 300 people in her lesson. And the lesson will be so. You pay, but then again, you get the results. They teach you well. Who would have thought that lesson can feed you like that? So nothing is too small for you to do. That's what I'm saying. Anything you feel like doing, anything that makes you happy to do it, but be persistent and consistent and put in your mind. You will definitely meet temporary defeat along the way. But don't give up. If you give up, what else will you do? That's the question I ask. And people say, no, I've been volunteering for 1 year. What else did you have in mind? It's not like when you were volunteering, you were not applying. You can be volunteering and still applying. And then if you're volunteering and they're taking other people and they're not taking you, there's something you're not doing right too. Because if you have brought value to that organization, they will keep you. Some people look at volunteering as something, I will come to work today. You tell people, I want to volunteer. I want to come to your office 3 times in a week. I want to come between 8 and 12. Please take that 8 and 12 and come that 3 times in a week. Because they're not paying you, you come on Tuesday, you spend 2 hours. After that, they will see you again for the next 2 weeks. That kind of thing. And then the next time you are talking, you say you volunteered. Nobody can depend on you. Those are the kind of things. You must be dependable. People must be able to believe in you. People must know that you have value. And when people see your value, they will employ you. Trust me.
Okay, talking about the rate of unemployment in the country,
Yeah.
who exactly is to be blamed?
All of us.
Or the government?
The government cannot do everything. Because people are employed not only by government. People are employed by private sector, public sector, and then you also entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Because employment doesn't necessarily mean that you must work for somebody. Some people do business. My sister has never worked for anybody in her life. She sews. And it's feeding her. So we are all to blame. Unfortunately, the youths have no job. Everybody's graduating from school. You know, we have a system in this country where everybody must go to university. Everybody wants to do the same things. Where nobody thinks outside the box. Nobody is innovative. You go to primary school to secondary school to university, you look for a job. Bam. And then you don't get a job. You don't know what to do because you're already in that box of you must follow that process. And
that's me. White collar job.
why are you getting a white collar job? You get what I'm saying?
Yes,
But somebody can say, okay, finish secondary school, and then you find out that, okay, you know what I want to do is to sew. So maybe instead of going to university, I go to a sewing institute. And then when you want to go to a sewing institute, be deliberate in the way you search for that sewing institute. Don't go and go to the one that they don't know how to sew, or they can't get you, you can't be retained or something. You can go and look and say, okay, let me go to Mumu and tell her that I want to volunteer with her. I want to learn and I work for free. Those are big places. When you tell anybody volunteer, 90% of people will say yes. So let me tell you.
Yeah.
And then when you go there, you will learn more. And then when you learn more and you are that good, promise yourself that you will be the best of yourself that you can be.
Yeah.
And then once you are the best of yourself that you can be, you'll be recruited immediately. So it's a mindset. This thing is, we blame everybody. Blame the government. I blame myself. I blame you. Blame everybody. Because we have to change our mindset. We have to learn to work well. Do things, when somebody has given you a job to do it. If you're supposed to come to work, come to work. If you're supposed to, and it's from childhood. So if you get it right from childhood, you will see that some people will be employed, some people will do business and be happy about doing their business. And some people will farm happily. Some people will be geniuses. Some people will even be housewives. What's wrong with it?
Okay. If you're talking about this entrepreneurship,
Yeah.
I feel that the government should actually add it up in school so that at least people should have an idea of it. So when they finish school, they will at least go for it instead of just depending on white collar job. What do you think about it?
Yes, that's true. Is it not in school? It's in school already, is it not? It's not in the curriculum. People that do commercial studies, there's economics there. Did you do economics?
I'm talking about sewing.
No, they have baking. They have.
Okay.
They have such things in secondary school. They have it extracurricular, like an extracurricular thing. My son is learning tie and dye. So which means that when he finishes, if he wants to continue in that line, he can do that. Yes, some people are doing fine art, some people are doing what you have said. Now, different kinds of things, entrepreneurship. But look, thinking about it now, if it's something that can be, emphasized more, and then the way we look at people who say they don't want to, for instance, after school they want to become entrepreneurs, people have to look at them as if these people are not serious.
Yeah.
But I think, like I said, it's a mindset. But the point is, believe in yourself. So all of us have to come together and say, if somebody wants to be an entrepreneur, there's nothing wrong with it. If somebody wants to say, okay, I want to be a lesson. I don't want to work for Airtel. I don't want to work for Shell. I want to do lesson. I love to teach. There's some people who love to teach. When they teach, you can see the light in their eyes. They're good. So to develop a strategy where that teaching will feed them. Somebody says, I love to sew. Develop a strategy where that sewing will feed you. Somebody says, I want to model. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just to make sure that that modeling fits you.
Yeah.
Like now, I like to talk. So my talking should do what? Should feed me. And we have to get to that mindset change. Shift our paradigm. Stop doing things the same way. All of us graduates, all of us want white collar job. How many shells can there be? How many mobiles can there be? How many central bank can there be? Can't contain all of us. So to blame, we are all to blame. And we have to out change. Teach our children. My child says, Mommy, you know what? I don't want to, after secondary school. My son said, I want to play football. My heart skipped. Bam! Will he get a job? But then again, what is wrong with it? If that's what he wants to do, as it goes along the line, if he does it well, it will feed him. It will not feed him if he doesn't do it well. That's where the problem is.
Yeah.
If somebody says he wants to be a footballer today, for instance, is it a joke? You think everybody wants to be a Messi? Everybody wants to be a Ronaldo. They don't know the way that the Messi and the Ronaldo, how they started. The time that they dedicated to, how many times in a day, how many hours they dedicate to playing, practicing. People like the end result. People don't want to go through the process. That's where the problem is.
Okay, let's go to the streets of Abuja to get the views of Nigerians regarding the issues of unemployment in the country. Mysterious.
The rate of unemployment in the country actually is bad, but the people, my major problem is the government. What the government will actually do, on my own suggestion, is that after the NYSC call, those people that serve, I would advise the government that whenever those places of their primary assignments, that when they finish their service, they should find out time to retain them, and also for the Empower stuff, though it's another way of reducing unemployment rate, but it's not helping matter in the sense that the 30,000 naira there does not worth it for someone to have living with.
So should that unemployment be the focus of government?
Unemployment should not really be focused on government to tackle. One is our school system is dehydrated, in the sense that we are now producing incompetent graduates. So sometimes it's not about that there is no job. The issue we are having once again is that these graduates that comes out are not well qualified for this job. So the government should tackle mainly on our school system for them to have a qualitative and quantitative education.
Unemployment in the country, let me say, it's a menace now to the society, because the rate of crime is on the increase now. Poverty is in the land, and people are suffering. Every government that comes into power, should have employment as part of its agenda, to create wealth for the nation. So I think it should be part of the government's agenda for the country. It's very, very important.
The unemployment, if you can see everywhere, people are walking on the street, people are looking for jobs, but we keep on hearing unemployment is going down. There's unemployment everywhere, but people are complaining that there are no jobs. Even those who have jobs, they are losing their jobs. So, to me, I've not seen any reason why a country that has so much, they cannot employ the youth or anybody who need a job cannot get a job, irrespective of any level or years. But I don't know whether if they are deceiving the nation or they are deceiving the world or they are deceiving themselves. But they keep on saying they are employing people and people are still going around looking for jobs. Now, crimes is everywhere. Robbery, kidnapping, 419, every nook and cranny, even Abuja where it was not like that before. Today, you cannot sleep and close your eyes because if there are unemployed, nobody will be bothered to go and be stealing or taking what belongs to another person to own it as his own property. So unemployment, I believe if government say they are employing people, let it be the truth that they are telling the world that they are employing people so that the crime will come down. Let it be a nation that everybody will sleep and close his eyes. I think that is where I rest my case.
Well, I think it's a general thing. It's something that everybody should be worried about. But personally, I think I sat down some days ago and I was thinking about it. First thing first, it's not really working about the unemployment or something, but let's get to know the number of citizens we have in Nigeria first. Because you cannot be telling someone you're creating 1 million jobs when you don't even know the number of unemployed and employed youths. So first of all, let's get a real consensus, get to know the real number of persons that we have as a country. From there, we can begin to talk about unemployment and how to tackle it. They say an idle man is the devil's workshop. Guys that are kidnapping on the street, guys that are into online fraudster and all that, if they had a job that is probably engaging them, then there will not be time for all that. How will a young man of within the ages of 25 and 35 stay and would not even have a token in his or her account? What do you expect? So it should be the focus of the government.
Welcome back, and in case you're just joining us, it's Team TV and Business, and of course today we'll be discussing on maximizing employment opportunities in the Nigerian public and private sector spaces. And we have Madam Chika Ofo in the studio with us. Okay, talking about this unemployment rate, most people believe that without being connected, we can never get a federal government's job. How true is this?
That's the mindset. It makes it easy for you if you have connection, there's no doubt about it, but everybody cannot have connection. And that's the truth. And then once you have that mindset, that if you don't have connection, you will not get a job, and that's what it will be. Because you will not push. First and foremost, I tell people, if you know you want to work, and you want to get into employment, from secondary school, you have to be intelligent, you have to study. If your own is that you want to, for instance, work in Airtel or one of these organizations, make sure your 2-1 is in front of you. Because even without that, you can't even start. There's some organizations that don't even talk to you if you don't have 2-1. If that is what you want to do, there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. But you have to prepare. What I'm saying is, whatever it is you want to do, you have to prepare. It's not connection that is going to prepare you. It's not everybody that has connection. It's not everybody that is possible for them to have connection. And then the percentage of people who get jobs through connection are not many. There are not many. Other people get jobs without connection. Why can't it be you? Why must you think that you must have connection for you to get a job? If you have that mindset, then you are going to be stuck in a bubble, especially when you don't have connection. Yeah. But if you believe that you have a strategy, okay, I want to work in United Nations. What is the criteria for working in United Nations? If I have 2 languages, it will give me an edge. Okay, if I have 2-1 of first class, it will give me another edge. If I study 2 courses, if I did economics with the first class, and then I have law with another first class, definitely you will get a job, trust me. The problem will be, if you want to work in United Nations, and then you now have a 3rd class, you don't have a 2nd language, you don't know anything, and you start to apply. Tomorrow, you apply to 1,000 places, and they don't answer you. You say, nobody's helping, I need connection. That's where your problem will be. Tell yourself the truth. Once you tell yourself the truth, move. Once you move, it can only get better.
Okay. So what's the government doing to eradicate this unemployment rate?
The government is doing what they are doing because, like I said, central bank has something.
Yeah,
like they give loans, both for entrepreneurship most of the time. Some people are doing fishery, different kinds of things. Then there are also some private organizations that support businesses as well. Yeah. You know, so the job for the youths is to go online and then make a deliberate attempt to look for these organizations. Once you look for these organizations, you have an idea. You have ideas. People have so many things in your head. Start to put them down, write them down. And one thing I noticed about you, they don't like to write. And then when you don't write a proposal, you don't write all these things, how will you get, I encourage entrepreneurship. I encourage it because at the end of the day, even when you have worked all your life, one day you retire, you either retire, resign, or be sacked. And then you come back again to what? To doing your own thing. So the youths have so many ideas. So my take there is, if you know you want to do business and you don't have much money, try to attend a lot of free seminars, free tutorship. They have a lot of, entrepreneurship, they have it. Then online, they have a lot of free trainings. Go and do all those free trainings. That's one. Then network. Have a good network. Then look for organizations that will appreciate you. Volunteer. If, for instance, you want to do fish farming, you love fish farming, volunteer with somebody who already has it. You get what I'm saying? If you volunteer with somebody who already has a fish farm for free, you will learn more. As you learn more, you find out how he did it, and then you can set up your own. If what you want to do is to be a public health person, volunteer in those places. From there, you move in the right direction. Anything you want to do, don't be afraid to, give your time. Sometimes you don't have money to give, or to give your time, and from there, you will get a reward. And then you get a job. In my office, 22 staff, everybody came in through volunteerism. Everybody. I can't employ you if you're not volunteering with me. I can't leave those people that have volunteered with me and come and take you that you didn't volunteer. That's the truth.
Okay, finally, your final thoughts to people out there who are unemployed and probably discouraged because of the rate of unemployment in the country, and to the federal government.
Yes, to the youths. I wish I was young. There's so many things in my head. There's nothing you want to do that you cannot do. The youths, try to volunteer in any organization. But volunteer in that area, that's fair, that you like. It will help to build your experience. And once you build your experience, be bold. When it's time for you, if you need to write a proposal, please make sure you do the steps that you need to be able to write that proposal. If you need to register an organization, to register a company, register. All the steps that you need to do them. But collaborate. Collaboration is good. So when you collaborate, it helps to build your confidence. Attend seminars, attend all these things. And then most importantly, I'm telling you, volunteer. That is for the youths. Then for the government. The youths, it's as if we have left them as children. We're not putting them in spaces where they should be. We should have more young people as parliamentarians. We should have young people in different spheres. Like, I didn't see any particularly young person as a minister. Why can't we have a 35-year-old minister, 35-year-old minister? There's nothing wrong. They have ideas. Minister of Youth and Sport should be a youth. Or you don't think so? Because you can't talk for the youth more than the youth. So the government should try to put them where they will excel. You understand what I'm saying? Then in House of Rep, you should have youths. No, youth, when we say youth, we're talking of people 35 and whatever it is that is necessary. All of us too who are adults should allow the youths to actually come up and take charge. We still treat our people who are 25 years, we treat them as children. Your child of 25 wants to travel, you are still saying you want to escort the child. Let the children leave the nest. Let them leave the nest. Make their mistakes. And the youths, not be afraid of making mistakes. Be afraid of stopping. Don't be afraid of making any mistake. People make mistakes. There's nothing wrong. The problem is not making mistakes. The problem is being so discouraged that you can't even take any step. Keep moving. Life is about movement. As you are moving, you will hit the mark. That I promise you.
Alright, thank you so much, Madam Chika Ofor. It's good to have you on TV.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, and we hope to have you some other time.
Yes.
Alright, that's the much we have for you today on TV and Business. I'm Chiren Osisiego. And Madam Chika Ofor said it's all. If you want to be successful, you have to be patient. You have to try and join a volunteering.
Yes,
volunteer. Try to volunteer.
You can volunteer with me. I still take you volunteers.
Okay, try to volunteer to reduce the rate of unemployment. Don't just sit idle at home. You don't have
and get experience.
Yes. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye.